Hi everyone, it's Dr. Fasonic talking to you from West Virginia where I live. I'm sorry I couldn't be there today. It's the first semester, the first day of class I have missed in 19 years of teaching, and I am not too happy about it. I hate the idea even of missing the first day because that's the day that I get to meet all of you and get to know you, start getting to know you, and here I am at home. I do have a good reason. I got shingles over my break at the end of break, and it's basically the chickenpox virus, and it comes back with a vengeance later when you get older, and, well, it got me. And it creates a rash. It's really painful. Can't sleep. It's on my head, so you can imagine trying to sleep with like a rash on your head and swelling, all that good stuff. And it creates fatigue, and my doctor wants me to stay out until January 26th. But that's good, so I'll be back on Monday, and I won't be contagious by then, which is always good too. In fact, I shouldn't be contagious by the end of this week, so I'll be great coming back on Monday, January 26th. So I'll see you in person then. But today, what I wanted to do is just take up about 10-15 minutes of your time to talk about the syllabus and what we're doing this semester and all those things. And thank you to my colleague, wherever you are, over here, or maybe in the back, I don't know, for coming in and showing this video today and being patient and, you know, being there for my students. Anyway, so today we're going to talk a little bit about the commitment that you have with the class in terms of what we'll be doing in projects. I asked you to read the book, A Walk in the Woods by Bill Bryson. And you can get any edition of the book that you want, but just make sure it's Bill Bryson's book, A Walk in the Woods, where he talks about, excuse me, hiking the Appalachian Trail. Because that is what we will be spending our entire semester doing. I have never, in all these years of teaching, assigned a book for a writing class, but this book, I think, will lend us sort of a focus to what we're doing, because it's a work of creative nonfiction. He uses research in his book to tell a story and to engage his readers, and I think it's just a really good example of the way that you can use research to tell a story. And he sets up these great sentences and great paragraphs and great structure. And I thought it would, and it's an interesting story. It's a good story for those of you who haven't read it yet. And you really should read it, because I told you over several times over email over the break that you had to have it read early in the semester. But we'll get to that more in a minute. The other book you need to have for this class is a book by Bruce Ballinger called The Curious Writer. And notice how it's backwards because I'm, on my computer video. Anyway, but The Curious Writer is a great book. It takes you through everything that you need to know about process and writing and revision strategies and those kinds of things, and we will be working on that. We'll start out with pre-writing and move through structure and thesis creation and all the really important basic stuff you need to know to be an excellent writer. And you will get tons of practice, which is where A Walk in the Woods comes in, because all of our assignments will come directly from that and give you practice in different areas where everybody needs practice with writing. And so the first thing you'll write for me is a quiz. I know, right? So on Monday the 26th, when I come back, you will take an in-class quiz. It will not be multiple choice. It will not be short answer, but it will be an actual essay. I have put up a study guide on D2L. I recommend that you read that. You do not have to fill it in because it's pretty long, because it covers every chapter in the book. But I would look over that, because your essay question will come from that, guaranteed. It'll be some question. I will probably give you some choices as to what you want to answer. Make sure you read the book, though. If you don't read the book and you rely on SparkNotes, or you rely on whatever the current form of summaries of text might be online, you will not do well on the quiz, because you have to do some critical thinking and you have to have read the book in order to accomplish that. And so that's what we're going to do on Monday, and make sure you have read the book by then. And it's long. If you haven't started, even though I told you needed to read it, I really recommend that you do that today, that you get a copy of it and do it today. The book is cheap. A Walk in the Woods is, you can find it for like $2 or $3, and it's readily available. Our bookstore has copies of it because I ordered copies of it. If you can't get it over there, then certainly any bookstore would carry this book, because it's very popular and it's been out since, for like 20 years. So, anyways, what we'll be doing in this class after we do the quiz is we'll be talking about the book, and all of your assignments will come from it. The first assignment that you will do is an assignment where you write a proposal to a fictional organization who is offering money for people to through hike the Appalachian Trail. And you have to have read the book to understand what through hiking is, and also it's helpful so that you can figure out what you need to take. So what you'll be doing in that first assignment is writing a proposal where you say, here's why I think I'm the best person to be funded for this trip, and also providing a budget where you have to do some research, where you go and look at, well, how much food do I have to take, what kind of tent should I buy, and actually list the prices and how much it's going to cost. It will take us a while to come up with that information, but I've got tons of resources, and there's videos out there of people who have actually done this, who've gone and hiked the entire Appalachian Trail, which usually takes about 6 months. And so you will be working on coming up with how much it's going to cost and laying it all out. This will give you all kinds of practice with organizing ideas, thinking about audience, like who are these people that are reading it, how can you persuade them to give you the money. It'll also give you an opportunity to think critically about what you think you need, how long, all these things that you need to know, like who's going to drop you off in Georgia or in Maine, wherever it is you think you want to start, and so forth, and when are you going to go, and all those things. So it will require a lot of thought and some research, but we'll be spending a lot of class time figuring out how to come up with this information and how to write it up in a way that is persuasive to your audience. The next assignment we'll be doing, along the way, there are many, many famous places along the Appalachian Trail, including Centralia, the city in Pennsylvania that is has the fire, the burning coal fire that's been burning, I don't know at this point for how long, 30 or 40 years. And Bryson talks about that in the book. That's just one of the many famous, interesting places along the Appalachian Trail. And I'm going to ask you, and I'm asking you, to pick one of those famous places, and we'll make a list together of all the different places on the trail, because it goes from Georgia to Maine, so there's hundreds of them. And you choose one, and I'm going to have you do some research and write a paper in which you talk about, give us some information about that particular place, and why you would want to step off the trail and go and visit that city if you're at that point of the trail. And again, it'll be another kind of persuasive paper, but with lots of facts, and we have to figure out, well, how do you organize a paper like that? What would a thesis be in a paper like that? But it'll give you an opportunity to think about how you pull research in to make it interesting. So it's not just the city was founded here or this hotel was built there, but what's interesting and how can you use research to make your papers interesting. The other thing that you'll be doing, the final big paper, is a personal essay in which you talk about a journey that you have been on, whether it's physical or psychological, that you learned something from, and compare it to Bryson's journey on the Appalachian Trail. What did it teach you? Why did you go on this journey? Did you have to? I mean, this could be, any way you want to look at it. And we'll talk obviously more about it. But this will be a good opportunity for you to talk about personal experience, but also to figure out, well, how do you develop a thesis for that? How do you critically write about that? How do you revise an essay like that to make it interesting? Who's the audience for it? Is it you? Is it me? Is it the class? Is it somebody else? And so that'll be the last major assignment that you do. However, you'll have to pull all of this together in a portfolio at the end of the semester. And basically a portfolio is just a collection of what you think is your best work from the semester. So save everything, including your journal. You have to make sure you bring a journal to this class every day, and it could be anything you want. A notebook. Maybe you have an old notebook from another class that you never really used. Tear out the front pages and you could use that. You could go out and buy a nice notebook, and I'll bring you some of mine to give you some examples, but something that you can write in every day so that we can get some practice with just free writing and writing that's not graded. It's just writing. But you'll have to include some of those entries in your final portfolio. So make sure you're saving all your papers and everything you're writing so that you can put it together in the end. You'll also write a reflection letter, a cover letter that will go on top of that and in the portfolio, in which you talk to me about how you grew as a writer over the semester and how you think this class prepared you or not for 101, 102, or for writing outside of this class in the workplace or wherever you think. The cover, which is the most interesting part, I think, will be you coming up with either drawing by hand or using clip art or going online, however you want to do it, a postcard from a spot on the Appalachian Trail. And it could be from the famous place that you picked, or it could be from another one, and you'll actually create it. It'll be 8.5 by 11, so the size of a sheet of paper, like this. But it'll be in postcard format, so you have a picture on one side and then some writing on the back telling your friend or whoever you're writing to what you did while you were in that spot. That piece then will be taken to what will be, in essence, kind of the final exam for this class, which will be the celebration of student writing. It's on April 30th. That's a Thursday. We will meet in the Convocation Center that day, and of course, if you can't remember all this, it's all right. It's in the syllabus, plus we will talk about it again and again and again. But what you'll do is bring your postcard, which will be the cover of your final portfolio, but you'll bring it over to the celebration of student writing, and there will be a way for you to display it over there, and we'll hang them up, and it'll be great. People can come and talk to you and say, what is this place? What does this have to do with writing? And what'd you do this semester? And all those good things. It is like definitely a no-stress type of thing, but it serves as kind of a way to celebrate writing on our campus, but also to wrap this class up. So that is what we will be doing this semester. I hope you're still interested. Do read over the syllabus for this class. It is on D2L. Also, while you're in D2L, you could do your homework that's due on Friday. I won't be there, but I will be looking at your work. So on Friday, by 2 p.m., you need to go to D2L, go to the discussion section in D2L, and then go down to what will be called My Journey. And this will give you, this will be sort of the first pre-writing or priming of the pump, or whatever you want to call it, for your final assignment. I'm getting you started on it right away. And what I want you to do in that discussion area is talk about, in about 100 words, minimum, a journey that you've been on, physical or psychological, and we will use that sort of as the kernel to get to that last assignment at the end. So we're already thinking about the last assignment on the second day of class. When you are done posting your response, your journey, I want you to respond to 3 other people's in the class. So just go read theirs and then write a response, a couple sentences where you say, oh, your reaction to their journey. How does that compare to Bryson's journey and a walk in the woods? So that's what you need to do by 2 p.m. on Friday. All this information is on the syllabus, and the discussion board has instructions too, so there's tons of instructions. But if you get hung up and you think, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, please email me at Fisanic, F-I-S-A-N-I-C-K, at calu.edu, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I am able to check my email. When I feel well enough, I just get up and do a couple hours of work and check email, and I check it pretty regularly. So that's what you need to do. Don't forget to read A Walk in the Woods. There will be a study guide. Don't forget to take a look at that study guide. It will be available on D2L. And again, there will be your quiz question, which will be an essay, a short one probably, from the study guide. So make sure you read that. You don't have to answer all the questions or anything like that. You don't have to do the work of it, but definitely read over the questions and make sure you could answer them, because one of them will appear on your quiz. So Friday discussion board by 2 p.m., quiz on Monday first thing, and then we'll get back to the business of the class. And I really do apologize for not being there this week. If I could come back, I would come back. So anyways, I'll see you Monday, January 26th. I'm sorry I'm not there to meet you, but I will meet you all then. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Have a good first week.